So do you think, so I had a fun conversation on the phone with a buddy the other day. Do you think people are becoming less creative over time with like the consumption of being able to watch things, and then you have AI that is now like maybe taking the place of creativity? If I have to do a project, instead of writing and letting my creative juices flow, I can just prompt it and spit something out that is creative, but it wasn't me, it was something else creating it. Like, are we moving in a direction of people experiencing less creativity?
I think it's a natural evolution, right? Like what was creative 100 years ago, they might look at what we are now and they're like, what is this? It's ridiculous. Like they're on boards or on whatever, like they're driving and like all this ridiculousness. But I think it's this constant evolution. I think AI is based off past experiences, right? It's not, you can't predict future experiences. Like it's going to try its best based off the past. But I think one thing that AI will enable us to do is, and something like social media enables us to do, is, for example, Tony Hawk's 900, right? Before he did the 900 was impossible.
Right.
As soon as he did the 900, other people are going to do it.
Yeah.
Other people did it.
Right.
So with social media and this constant sharing of experience, people now realize what is possible. What someone on the other side of the world did, I can do that, right? Like the impossible is not possible because that happened, and because it's shared and there's a more steady flow of information. It promotes that growth.
And as people tap into that information, it's adding to their ability to now create new stuff.
Yeah. And as AI progresses, it takes stuff off our plate that would have limited us, and now we can focus on something else. So say like that project, so if someone's going to make AI write an essay, well, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but if that takes that off their plate, then maybe they're allowing themselves to explore creativity in another area, and they get more time for that, right? So it's the shuffling of priorities and the shuffling of those experiences, if that makes sense.
I like that. Yeah, I think that's a unique perspective, because I think a lot of people would have said something different, and they would have been like, no, it's thinking for you, it's making people less creative. But I think that's a very good observation, and I hadn't really thought about it in that way.
It's kind of like, I relate it to, if you say you spend 3 hours a week cutting your grass, now you pay someone to cut your grass. Yeah. What does that 3 hours now enable you to do? What can you do with that, right? Like, I think areas that, I don't know. I think in areas that are mundane and just monotonous, like AI will kind of trump that and take that off our plate, hopefully. And now it'll allow people to explore and do new cool shit, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to give people the opportunity to fill that space, but it's an opportunity to fill that space with something creative. It's not saying that necessarily all people will fill that space with something creative.
And I think those people naturally, like, if they were lazy, they're going to continue to be lazy. Yeah. But if you hear all these high performing people, the CEOs and the millionaire this and that, they're like, X amount of times, X amount of dollars, right? Like, it's a similar thing for us peasants, right? Like if you can take something off your plate, it gives you room somewhere else, right?